Hi, this is E.T. Bodybuilding during the Silver Era. That's roughly from 1945, the end of World War II, all the way to 1960, with the first open marketing of Dianabol, was represented by a small subculture of young men hoping to, one, get stronger for athletics, and two, look better to appeal to females, maybe both. Bodybuilding was looked upon as a waste of time and effort, resulting in, as it was put then, a muscle-bound physique and possible narcissistic personality disorder. It was promoted by a near monopoly of magazines, dominated by Bob Hoffman, Joe Weider, and to a lesser extent Perry and Mabel Rader and Dan Lurie, and later by Robert Kennedy and a few others, all of whom, with the exception of the Raiders, appeared intent on using their respective publications to sell supplements and some other weights and gear, as opposed to peddling 100% truth. These publications were pretty much all that we youngsters had as guides to build strength and muscle and to get healthy. We religiously followed each month's editions, training and nutritional advice, which amounted to, generally speaking, 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions of multiple weight exercises for a full body workout to be done 3 days per week, and supplementing normal meals with protein powders, most either of soy and fish, which, again, generally speaking, was very low quality, tasteless, barely palatable, especially Hoffman's fish protein powder. Also, there were the vitamin E-rich oils. Hoffman's included rice, sweet German soy, which I bought in my teens and was convinced then that it worked to make gains and to work harder. You may think that coaches encouraged athletes then to join this small bodybuilding cult, but in fact, few did. My own track coach in college, I ran sprints after serving in the U.S. Army, in 1964 laid down the law. He said, any more extracurricular lifting and, quote, you're off the team. Now, this was at a time when at least one professional football team was doling out blue Dianabol pills like M&Ms. You can imagine how unsupported weightlifting was back 15 years earlier than that. The popular catchphrase was not just that you're going to get muscle-bound, but all that muscle's going to turn to fat. Only with publication of a mainstream-oriented book, it was Pumping Iron, and a subsequent film based on that with the same title, did the idea of bodybuilding catch on with the general public, which in only a few years catapulted those once cult magazines to some of the highest circulated publications in the country. Magazine domination, by the way, would end with popularization of the internet in the late 1990s. That's another story. So, were the magazines of the 1950s useful? Well, yeah, to the extent that they instructed the novice lifter in the basics, and no, in that they promoted many near useless, and in some instances harmful, groups of supplements when wholesome real food was more than enough. And no, in that they hid from the readers those few bodybuilders and lifters in the early Silver Era who did benefit from pre-Dianabol steroids. Note, I'll be putting up a video on the history of anabolics soon. The one magazine of the period that appeared, to me at least, as the most objective, in that it included information from trainers with no financial interest in promoting anything, was Iron Man magazine, owned by Mabel and Perry Rader. Both Hoffman, who promoted mostly strength and Olympic lifting, and Weider, devoted to physique building only, appeared, well, to me, to have vehicles, their publications, devoted to pushing money-making products to naive young consumers rather than promoting health. For a concise and entertaining précis of the Hoffman and Weider struggle for dominance, see Marty Gallagher's excellent article on the Iron Company website. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is E.T. Please subscribe and tell your friends about this channel.